Hey everyone, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I haven't given y'all an update in a while. Usually I was doing them every week when I was cranking out mowers during the heart of the season. Now we're kind of into August. And things are still selling, but I've just turned my attention to housework. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen that I have been renovating my bathroom and whatnot. And I'll keep posting periodic updates on Instagram and Facebook about that. The video, you'll see the title of the video is something along the lines of my biggest free find ever for lawn tractors. I didn't find it. Actually, this thing almost fell into my lap. I'll get to that in just a second. I'll hold the suspense, so to speak. But as you can see, the garage is still a little busy. It's a whole lot less chaotic than it was. I think I remember showing y'all that I cleaned up some. Of course, I've done a little bit of work, and so there's a couple of things strode around. Kind of working on that generator there, and bought a couple of batteries for a couple of mowers I picked up here recently. Some of my grandpa's old tools I just got from my dad for some small engine stuff if I go into more repair stuff. This cabinet I'm going to eventually hang on the wall here. I just have to cut around my little electrical pipe there. And that will be good. As you can see, the signs keep increasing. But as you can see, I got my mower jack mounted on the wall and stuff like that. Let me give you all a couple updates. Obviously, the last thing I'm going to do is show you the biggest free find, just to give y'all some suspense. So this Vanguard generator is a runner. I have made a video on that. It is in the queue, and y'all will be seeing that coming up. This one was frozen. Pulled the pull rope. Had a bunch of water damage as well from where it was sitting in a leaky shed. Turned out that it had been so much water and condensation that rust had built up in the cylinder, basically freezing the piston from moving. I was able to chip out the rust, and everything else about it works. It does seem like it's a little bit low on output, but I hooked my AC unit up to it and it ran it just fine. So it could have been a multimeter issue or something along those lines. So that generator I have ended up keeping. I have sold, I don't know if I ever showed y'all the one that used to sit back there. It was a 10 horse Briggs 5,000 watt. This is a 9 horse Vanguard Briggs 5,000 watt. It's about half as, this one's about half as loud as that other 10 horse Briggs I had. But that 10 horse one, there was a grommet on the gas tank I needed to put on, which I guess is right there. I made a video on that as well. That'll be going into the queue. I sold that one for $250. Had it listed for $300. It sold within a few hours. The 165, I know Bruce Pender really wants me to get this one going. I'm going to get it going. This thing's in great shape. Seat's in good shape. I just have to figure out the electrical gremlins on it. I think it's got a bad ignition switch. I know it had a bad safety switch. If anybody has any advice, Bruce or anybody out there, I'll show you what I've done to it so far. So the brake safety switch was connected over here, and it was rusted to the point it was no longer functional. And so I just kind of wire nutted it past. I have continuity from all of the safety switches down to the pole on the starter solenoid down here. If I hook this up, the purple and white wire, and then I hook it up down here to the corresponding, I guess, ground wire that you trace it back to, it has it ohms out, so it's got no resistance. So it's not that. I'm fairly sure it's the ignition switch, because every time I turn the switch, I'm not getting any sort of action on it, so to speak, and I should be getting some grounding and stuff. So I've got to order an ignition switch for it, and we'll see. I think the starter's either weak or it's getting a bad ground as well, and it's just, I have never really worked on a John Deere, proper John Deere. I've done L series and D series and stuff like that, or LA series, the big box store stuff, but never a proper John Deere. So I really am looking forward to getting this one going. It's checks out. It's in good nick. Really quickly, the Honda generator here. Y'all saw this, I guess, a long time ago. I haven't really made much about this because when I got it, it was a hard stop on the piston inside the engine. Like you'd pull it and it almost sounded like metal on metal. Well, one day I just decided to tilt the generator back, and I don't know what it did. And it wasn't hydraulic or anything, but whatever happened, it freed it up. So I don't know if it was like a bolt or something in there, but the thing starts up and runs now. I just had to figure out how to get the cover back on it and also how to get this pull rope retractor on it, which I have purchased because it didn't come with one. But as you can see, I didn't quite get it on correctly. It's still functional, but I kind of messed it up right there because the two top mounting bolts are stripped for the cover, which I think I've drilled one of them out. So I've got to work on that a little bit. I also can't get it to turn off without pulling the spark plug, so I've got to figure out the grounding issue on that as well. That's coming. The generators, they sell all like 365 days a year because people want them. I'm not going to show y'all what's on the trailer yet. That's going to be last. I will show you two new acquisitions that I purchased for $40 and $80 respectively, from my guy up the street who sourced this stuff. This Craftsman, they're both Craftsmans. You know I love Craftsman stuff. This is exactly like one I sold earlier this year, like to a T. It's just really rusty. It is actually stuck in gear. It's not a brake issue. It's literally still stuck in gear. Not like a Friends episode. It's actually stuck, I think, in third gear instead of second gear. So for all you Friends lovers out there, I'm not one of them, but there's your little humor for that. Everything else seems to be okay. It just seems to be pretty rusty. I'll have to check the rear pulley and whatnot. I just want to see if the engine runs. If the engine runs, I think I can free up the transaxle. I just need to dive into it deeper. Again, it's middle of August. Lawnmowers still do sell, but they're a little bit harder of a sell right now than before. But anyways, this is kind of like the one that John at Turning Wrenches had earlier this year that I told him to list for $700 and not let it go for any less than that. It's got the push bar on it as well. Obviously there's a big glaring problem with this one. I don't know what they would be cutting grass with, but holy moly, look at this deck. I have never ever seen a deck that rotted out on a riding mower. Obviously it's got the seat issue that most of these newer Craftsmans have, to where the glue comes undone, and so I've got to work to figure something out about that as well. Looks like they were starting it with a house key. Is that? Yeah, it still works, but it's pretty rusty. But just the deck. Everything else is in decent shape. This one's still got a metal hood on it, actually, instead of a composite. The 21 horse Briggs single. Hopefully the cam compression release is good on it still. Obviously I got to do some work to it, but again, these are winter projects, so I'm not really going to be making much progress on them probably for a couple of months. These are, you get them in the garage on a cold day and just work on them, because I want to get most of what you see in the backyard here, well, half of what you see in the backyard here running. I'll do an update video because I'm going to clean out all of this right here to where the only mowers that I'm going to attempt to fix are, believe it or not, that Lowe's mower that's in shambles, the Murray, that's a part out, this green Craftsman back here, and that red Murray. So that's really the only 4 that I'm looking to fix, apart from this red Craftsman, which I have to find a deck for, which that may be the only thing I need to do with that one. And worst case scenario, I'll have to do a transaxle swap on that Craftsman, but we shall see. Again, I just got other parts and stuff. I've just thrown it over here. This push mower, I think I'm just literally going to throw in the dump, take off some of the important parts on it, because most of this stuff is just done. I mean, the deck's rotted out, the engine's so corroded. The gas tank, believe it or not, is still good, so I'll save the gas tank. Everything else is probably so rusted it's not even going to be worth trying to get it off. Gas tank, spark plug, air filter cover, gas cap, dipstick for the oil, and then this one, basically I'm going to throw this one in the dump. Might be able to get this little blade guard off, which sometimes comes in handy, but again, not much progress back here, but I just wanted to show you kind of what's going on, and a couple of the acquisitions that I've gotten over the course of time. Again, I try and source stuff. I don't really go out of my way to get it at this point in the year, because I potentially have a hookup that I will potentially be getting a lot more riding mowers from. I just have to go up there and get them at some point. It's a good ways away, but anyways, so a couple of sales. What have I sold since last time? You've seen it on Instagram. The wood chipper, it used to sit right there. It left its mark. That actually left for $200, believe it or not. Thing ran great. Did a video on it. That's in the queue for y'all to see. Cut grass with a snapper this week. It did a pretty good job. It is surging a little bit, so I think it either needs a carb clean, or I don't know if the coil's going out in it. I can't pinpoint if it's a spark issue or if it's a fuel issue. But I'll work on that a little bit. This my find today may be sending this thing on down the line. I love this lawnmower. Super easy, fun to drive. Got the bagger with it. Bagger works beautifully with the high vac. But I don't know. Like I said, I like it, but what I got here might be the reason why it's not going to stay any longer than it is. I love snappers though. Anyways, getting on to talking. This mower, I got to take the engine off of, and the self-propel mechanism off the front. I'll take the rear axle off as well, and the bag. It'll be a great candidate for whenever I get my new customer return lot, which hopefully I'll be getting sometime in the next couple of months. And then these two, or this one's probably just going to get thrown out, or at least the engine is. And that one is going, that's a good deck and an engine and a bag right there. So I've got some mostly parts I just need to do a little bit of cleaning up with, but I've gotten most of my stuff separated and cleaned up on this shelving unit. That was a good buy. And I've thrown out a lot of old engine blocks and stuff that I have way too many of, and you know, I'm not really in the parts business. I know I could be in the parts business, but I just focus my time and effort elsewhere. So I've got this V-twin here. I don't know if I'll keep it or just for parts or whatever, because I don't have anything else in terms of V-twin stuff, as opposed to, say, like this right here, which I have tons of quantum items. But Briggs quantums are very popular. So I'm not going to hold the suspense up anymore. Let's go back to the truck and see what I ended up picking up for free today. Thank you to my realtor who actually sold the house to me about 2 years ago. She reached out to me about this. It is a Husqvarna. It is a Y2A or YTA 24V48 with a 3-bin bagger, and as a bonus it came with a yard sweeper. So all in all, the package is probably about an $1,100 package. Once I cleaned it up and whatnot, got it for free. She just reached out and said, I have a client that is looking to sell her house. She has this lawnmower that she just needs to get rid of. Could you go get it? And I'm like, yep. She gave me her number. Called her. I said, I'll be there. I'm leaving now to come get it. So 2 problems I know of. It leaks oil, which to me it looks like, number 1, the oil filter's about off of it. Number 2, valve cover on the left side is leaking. And she also said it sometimes, I guess, gives up the ghost as it's going uphill. I don't know if, if it's a drive issue with a belt, or if it is a fuel issue with the fuel pump. I'm not sure. Or a fuel filter. I don't know. But let me show you really quickly. This mower has a full tank of gas, like full to the brim. I don't know if I can get the camera around. It was a Lowe's mower, so it's a stamped deck, not a welded deck. It was made in December 5th of 2016, so the mower ain't even 4 years old. It has enough oil in it for me to start it and get it off the trailer. But it has, let me see if I can turn it on and it'll show, 61.4 hours on it. 61 hours. Crazy. And all I got in it is going to go get it, literally. I mean, I'm very thankful. These opportunities do not come up, so do not expect this to be the norm. I've been doing this since 2012, and I have never been this fortunate before. So thank you to my realtor. Thank you to the woman who allowed me to come get it. This mower will be put to good use, and I will most likely be keeping it. Obviously, the money is very enticing for this. For $1,100 to sell it if I once I fixed it up and whatnot. But this honestly is exactly what I'm looking for my yard. I've been searching for a 3-bin bagger for a good little while now to go on a Craftsman product, and it's a soft bin bagger, but I'll be bagging pine straw and stuff with it. It's going to work beautifully. Obviously it's been used to bag for a good little while here. The deck is working. The deck just needs to really be cleaned off. I just need to give it a good cleaning, and I think it'll be good. So that's my find. That's my update for the week. I appreciate y'all watching. Next in the queue for videos, I've got a DYT 46-inch Craftsman coming up. That's a wiring nightmare, and a bunch of more riding mower stuff coming up here in the next few weeks. A lot of riding mower content. Oh, by the way, this thing's still got the nipples on the tires, on the front tires. It's amazing. So thank you again. I'll catch y'all in the next video here on Sunday at 8 o'clock. You'll see videos every Wednesday and Sunday at 8 through the end of the year. Thank y'all for the support as well. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, so thank y'all for that. That is a very good goal to have before the end of the year. So I'll catch y'all in the next video.